Okay, let's go into fractions. In this video, you're going to learn about fraction basics. You're going to learn what the parts of a fraction are. You're going to learn about the different types of fractions. And last but not least, you're going to learn how to reduce fractions. Okay, so let's get started. There's actually two parts to a fraction. There is the number on top, and there is a number on the bottom. The number on top is called the numerator, and the number on the bottom is called the denominator. Okay, keep in mind that this bar, I would like to teach that this bar means divided by. In other words, divided by. What this fraction means actually is, all it's saying is 2 divided by 3. Or how many 3's can go into 2. Okay. Keep this in mind because it's going to be very, very handy as we move on with fractions. So the number on top is called the numerator. The number on the bottom is called the denominator. This bar right here means divided by, and that means 2 divided by 3, or how many 3's fit into 2. So fractions. There is actually 3 types of fractions. There is proper fractions, where the number on top is smaller than the number on the bottom, or the number on the bottom is greater than the number on top. Okay, so we see this. This is the most common form of fractions. We see them more commonly on the GED test. And then there is the improper fraction, where the number on top, or the numerator, is actually the greater number, and the number on the bottom is smaller. Okay, keep in mind, always keep in mind that that fraction bar means divided by. That is going to come really handy to you in the future when we start doing more complicated things with fractions. Okay, so every time you see this bar in fractions, always assume that this means 2 divided by 3, or how many 3's go into 2. Okay, and it's the same with this one, this fraction over here. This bar also means divided by, and that also means, you know, in this case, this means 3 divided by 2, or how many 2's go into 3. So I guess you can say that the top number goes inside the house, and then the bottom number goes on the outside. Whoops. And then the bottom number goes on the outside. Okay. The final type of fraction is called a mixed number. And what a mixed number is that it includes both a whole number, and an improper fraction. Okay. Mixed numbers are include whole numbers and improper fractions, and they are usually you can actually usually transform a mixed number to an improper fraction and vice versa. But I'll show you how to do that in just 1 second. But keep in mind that the three types of fractions are proper, improper, and mixed number, and that they look like this. Earlier I mentioned that it is possible to change improper fractions into mixed numbers, or changing a fraction that looks like this, an improper fraction, into a mixed number a fraction that looks just like this. Okay, so how do we do it? Remember when I told you to keep in mind that this fraction bar actually means divided by? Okay, well that's going to be very helpful for us to change this improper fraction into this mixed number. So this bar means divided by, so let's work this out. 3 divided by, divided by 2, or how many 2's go into 3? Remember that the denominator always goes outside the house, little house, and then the numerator, this one, always goes inside the house. Okay, so how many 2's? By the way, if you have a calculator, then go ahead and use your calculator for this, for problems like these. I'll show you how to input the necessary information into your calculator so that it automatically transform improper fractions to mixed numbers. But in the event of getting a question like this one in that first section, the first 5 math problems where you absolutely cannot use your calculator, then you would do it like so. So how many 2's fit into 3? Okay, well we know right off the bat that 1 2 fits into that 3. Okay, so we divide normally. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. Now we ask ourselves, how many 2's fit into that 1? The answer is none. Therefore, when you can't fit the denominator inside the remainder anymore, then you convert these two numbers, this one, let me get a red pen, this one and this 2 into an improper fraction. How do you do that? Well, you get this 1 and you just put it over this 2. So you get the 1 and then you just put it over that 2. Whoops. That 2. And that's how you do it. See that this 1 just became the numerator of the improper fraction, and then this 2 became the denominator of the proper fraction inside the mixed number. And that's how you turn an improper fraction into a mixed number, just by dividing. So how do we change a mixed number back into an improper fraction? Okay, again, if you can use your calculator for this one, make sure you do use your calculator, because it saves you time, and more than likely if you use a calculator, there's less of a chance that you'll get it wrong than if you do it by hand, because you're not rushed to get through the problem, or not as rushed because you won't waste as much time using the calculator. But if you encounter one of these problems in the first five problems in the GED math test where you cannot use a calculator, then and you have to do it by hand, then you do it like so. So the steps to turn a mixed fraction into an improper fraction are as follows. The first step is to multiply the denominator, this 2 right here, by the whole number, by this 1. So 2 times 1 would be 2. The second step would be to add the numerator to the product for step 1. So 2 times 1 is 2, and then we would add this 1 to that solution. So, whoops, that does not look like an arrow. There we go. Sort of, kind of. So 2 times 1 is 2, and then that 2 we would add to this one would be 3. Okay? And then the final step would be to place the answer for step 2 over the original denominator. So 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3, over the original denominator, which was 2. And that's the answer. Okay, let me go over it a little bit more in a paced way. So the first step here, 1 1/2. The first step is to multiply the denominator by the whole number. Okay, so here we multiply this 2 times the 1. Okay, So I'm going to write 2 times 1 here equals 2, right? That's the answer. Okay. Then the second step is to add the numerator to the product for step 1. So our product for this step 1 right here, whoops, this step 1 was 2, and the numerator we have learned is the number on the top of a fraction. So this 2 we would add 1 to it, okay, and we would get the answer 3. Okay, so 2 times 1 and then 1 and then that 2 plus 1, okay, and then we would get 3, all right? And then the third step is to place the answer for step 2 over the original denominator. So the answer for step 2 is 3. So this 3 we would take and place it over the denominator, which in this case is 2. Denominator. Oops. Having some technical difficulties here. Anywho, oh, there we go. Okay. So this 3, we would place it over the denominator, which in this case is 2. So our final answer would be 3 over 2. And that's how you change a mixed number back into an improper fraction. Okay, let's review some fraction basics. So remember that the number on top is called the numerator, the number on the bottom is called the denominator, and the bar that separates the two numbers in a fraction, always look at it as divided by. For example, in this one, it's 2 divided by 3, or how many 3's fit into 2. Okay, that's going to help you down the road in regards to, you know, changing improper to mixed, reducing fractions, and solving other equations. So 3 types of fractions. The first one is a proper fraction, and it looks something like this. 2 over 3, where the number on top is smaller than the number on the bottom, okay, or the denominator. Okay, and then there's improper fractions, which is the opposite. 3 over 2, where the number on top is greater than the number on the bottom. And then there is mixed numbers, where it's it looks something like this: 1 and 2 over 3. Okay, where the number on where this fraction is accompanied by a whole number and a proper fraction. Okay, quick recap on how to turn from improper fraction to mixed number. Remember that in order to turn from improper to mixed, you just divide. Okay, and then to turn from mixed to improper, you multiply the denominator to the whole number, and then add the numerator. Then place that answer over the original denominator. Okay, and that's pretty much it for fraction basics.